If clients keep telling you you're too expensive, it's probably not your price. It's when and how you're talking about it. I've coached hundreds of creative business owners to fix their pricing conversations, and I've watched them go from, I can't afford that, to when can we start? Today, I'm breaking down the 5 pricing mistakes that are costing you dream clients and money, and I'm gonna show you what to do instead. Here's what I see all the time. You're good at what you do. You know you're good at what you do, but every time you talk about your price, something happens. Either people disappear, or they push back, or you panic and you offer a discount before they've even said no. And then you start thinking, maybe the problem is your price. Maybe you should lower it, or maybe you're not worth what you're charging. But real talk, the problem isn't what you're charging, it's how and when that number enters the conversation. And I'm about to show you the 5 ways you're accidentally sabotaging yourself. Okay, so mistake number 1, you're leading with price before you've actually demonstrated value. I see this happen all of the time. You'll get an inquiry from a lead, and one of their first questions is, how much is it? Can you just give me a quote? Can you just tell me how much? I see this all the time. A lead will inquire and they'll say, hey, I'd love to know more about your packages. Can you send them to me? I'd love to get a quote. How much is it going to cost? Before you've even understood their problems, understood how you can help them, if you can help them, and before you've been able to actually demonstrate the value of your service. If you give away price too early in the conversation, whether it's in DMs, whether it's via an email inquiry, even if it's on a sales conversation, if we give away price too soon, we're going to lose people because they don't understand why you're pricing that, what the value is. And so what we want to do is we want to lead with the value, lead with, okay, what is the problem that we're solving? And then we want to go, okay, cool, here's the investment. So don't lead with price. Now, here's a really simple way to get around this question if someone asks it to you. Let's say someone sends you a DM on Instagram and they're like, hey, I just want to know your prices. Here's what you're going to say. You're going to say, hey, totally get it. I'd love to share more about what we do and how we could potentially help you. In order for me to give you a really good estimate of price, I need to have a conversation with you about what it is that you're really looking for and how we can help. And then I'm absolutely happy to talk you through what the pricing looks like. Would you like to book a call with me and we can chat about it? So it's a really nice way to say, yes, of course you want to know price. I want to know price, but I can't give you the price until we actually have a conversation. Okay, so from there, you're just going into your sales conversation. If you sell via a sales call, that's when you book them in for a call. If you sell in the DMs, then you're just going to continue the conversation of like, I'd love to ask you some questions to see how I can help. Does that sound good? Yeah, it sounds amazing. Okay, cool. I'd love to know XYZ, whatever the qualifiers are that you need to know in order to give them the price and give them a really good estimate. So I like to think of the frame of this as, all right, I don't want to do you a disservice and tell you the wrong price. I can't actually give you a quote if I don't know what you need and if I don't know if we can actually help you. So it comes from this lens of integrity and from like, I want to give you a really good service. So I want to make sure that I understand exactly how we can help you, exactly what you need. Okay? It's not, I don't want to tell you my prices because they're really expensive and like I'm being sheepish. It's like, no, I'd love to help you. Here's how it works. Don't let them dictate your sales process. If they ghost you after you send them this reply or after you say this, then they are just price shopping and they're going to waste your time. We don't want to spend time with those people. We actually want to talk to qualified people, okay? So don't be afraid to lead the sales process and don't let them dictate it for you. Now, that first one might seem obvious, but this next mistake, this one is the one that's costing you the most amount of money right now and you don't even realize you're doing it. Mistake number 2, you're presenting price without framing the outcome. This is a big one. Seth Godin says that people do not buy products and services, they buy solutions to problems. Now, most creatives, when it comes to presenting their price, firstly, they present it as a cost. I want you to present your price as an investment. That's like a really simple reframe for you. What also happens is when you present your price as a cost, you're not presenting it as a solution to an expensive problem. Let's say someone comes to you and this problem right now is costing them $100,000 a year by not having this problem solved. Them investing $10,000 with you to solve the problem is such a small investment compared to the cost of the problem. So what we want to be doing in our sales conversations, in our sales pages, in any sales mechanism that we're using, we always want to anchor to, okay, what is this problem costing you? What is the cost of inaction? Why do I need to resolve this now? Okay, we want to solve expensive problems. Let's say you're a web designer and you say, cool, I'm going to design 5 pages for you. These are all the features that you're going to get. It's $5K. Versus if you say, cool, so right now, your website is not converting and that is costing you X amount of leads per month, which is costing you X amount of sales per month. What we're going to do is we're going to solve that problem and I'm going to design a website that's going to convert your browsers into buyers. Immediately, you can tell the difference in the framing, right? You can tell the difference in the articulation of the value. 5 pages for $5K or a website that's going to convert my browsers into buyers. That is a really compelling promise. And it's a much higher level problem that we're solving, which means we can charge more for it. So here's an action item for you. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the last proposal that you sent. And anytime you speak to the features only, so it's a 5-page website. We're going to design it in Squarespace. Like anytime you speak to the features, I actually want you to add a so that. We're going to design this. We're going to do 5 pages so that you get this outcome. We're going to design it so that it's SEO optimized so that you can attract more viewers. So every feature needs to have a benefit. I want you to go back through your proposals, your pitches, your sales pages, even your sales scripts. And I want you to look at where you're talking to the features too much and how you can actually add in more of the benefits, more of the outcomes, because that is what people are buying. And that means you can charge whatever the heck you want. Okay, so you've got the sequencing right. You framed the outcome. Mistake number 3 is the one I see creatives make on every single discovery call. You're presenting your price without authority. We all know the point in the sales conversation where you realize it's time for me to talk about money and I feel nervous. I don't know what I'm going to say. For most creatives, when they get to this point in the conversation, they do one of 3 things. Number 1 is they say, okay, well, this all sounds really great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a proposal and I'm going to send it over to you. They just kick the can down the road. They don't mention anything about investment, and they're about to invest hours into building out a proposal for someone who has no idea of even the range of investment they're about to make. Kind of a waste of time to do all of that work if they're not even remotely aware of what the price is. The second thing is you present the price and you make it sound like an apology. Okay, Mr. Customer, so that's going to be about $5,000. And you frame it like it's a question. Your price is not a question, but you frame it like that. Your tone changes, you lose all authority, you lose all credibility, because when you are talking about money, you go weird. Like something weird happens and your whole tone changes, okay? Now the third option, and I see this a lot with creatives, is you present the price and then you justify. So it goes something like this. You're like, cool, so this is going to be an investment of $5,000, but we're going to make sure that we do this, and it's going to be good because of this reason, and then we're also going to add in this thing for you. And if you don't want to do this bit, we can change it so that we get this. And you just ramble. You justify. You're trying to explain your value, and you don't look very confident when you do that. So for most people, they either kick the can down the road and send a proposal later, and they go, oh, we'll just talk about price later. Procrastinate, or you present the price and you sound like a wuss. You sound like you have no confidence in what you're doing, or you present the price and then you justify. All of these options suck and they mean you can't charge what you want. So how do we actually fix this? This is going to sound silly, but this is what I want you to do. I want you to get out your phone and I want you to record yourself saying your highest ticket price. I want you to look at your body language, listen to your tone, listen to, okay, are you talking faster? Is your pitch going higher? Are you starting to mumble? Are you starting to explain or justify? I want you to look at your face. Do you look excited or do you look terrified when you present that price? I want you to practice it. So film yourself saying your price. That's the first thing I want you to do. Second thing I want you to do, when you present your price, I want you to just count to 5. So try this. hey, so from everything you've said, everything we've discussed today, it sounds like we're a really great fit. I'd love to talk you through price. So investment for this is going to be $5,000. It feels like a long time. It feels awkward, but count to 5 in your head. Don't count it out loud. Count to 5 in your head and just sit in silence. What's going to happen is you're going to count to 5 and they're going to fill the silence. It's not your job to fill the silence. They will fill the silence. I want you to go, okay, if I talk first, I lose. That's what I want. I want you to treat it like a game. If I talk first, I'm going to lose here. So we let them fill the silence. You know what they're going to say? Okay, cool. That sounds good. I'd love to know some more about how it works. Or they'll say, okay, that's a bit more than I was expecting, and then we can handle the objection. I want you to state it and then shut up. Count to 5, silence. The selling happens in the silence. It's really true, okay? So big takeaway here. If you make this mistake, if you're not presenting your price with authority, you've just told that prospect that you don't believe in your prices, so why would they? Now, mistake number 4 is the one that is quietly capping your income. And the worst part is, the better you get at your craft, the more it costs you. Mistake number 4, you're charging by the hour and it's punishing you for being brilliant. It's this weird thing that for us as creatives, we do this. Instead of charging a project rate or charging for the outcome, we charge for the amount of time that it takes us. Now, what's really interesting about this is that you get paid more for being slower. Now, I don't know about you, but when I first started, I was slower. As I got better at my job, as I got better at my craft, I could do things much more efficiently. But if I charge hourly, then I'm getting punished for being efficient. And I don't want that for you. I want you to think about it like this. Imagine that you've got an event coming up and it's on the weekend and you realize, crap, I don't have an outfit to wear. I'm going to go online, I'm going to find something. And when it comes to the shipping option, I'm going to choose between standard post, which might be like 3 to 7 days, or I'm going to choose express post, which is going to come in the next 24 hours. Do you notice that express post always costs more? To get something done quicker, it always costs more. And so if I want that outfit for that event I've got on the weekend, I'm happy to pay extra because I want it done faster. So why are we penalizing you as a creative for delivering something faster? If anything, you should charge more to deliver faster. It doesn't really make sense that we get penalized for speed. There's this great quote from Jim Rohn. He says, you don't get paid for the hour, you get paid for the value that you bring to the hour. So I want you to think about how much value you bring to each hour. I want you to think about the gear that you have, the experience that you have, the time that you've invested, the tools that you pay for. I want you to think about all the years of experience, all the years of decisions, of data, all of those things that you have that help you to be really good at what you do. And then we're going to charge for that. You're charging for the value that you bring, not for the amount of time that you spend. And this is particularly important in the age of AI because you should be rewarded for speeding up your processes, not penalized for it. One other thing to note here is that this doesn't just apply if you're charging hourly. This also applies if you have packages or retainers where the scope completely blows out. So you can be undercharging whether you're charging hourly or whether you're charging package rates. So let's talk about how we actually fix it. So the fix is very simple. What you're going to do is you're going to open up your past 2 or 3 projects and we're going to audit them. And so there are 2 steps from here. Number 1, if you're charging hourly, what I want you to do is I actually want you to go into that project and I want you to look at it and say, okay, this is what I delivered. This is how much time it took me. If I had to halve the amount of time that I actually delivered, the hours that I did, would the client have still gotten the outcome that they were promised? It's a really good question to ask because if the answer is yes, they got the outcome, amazing. We need to look at how we can actually turn what you've just done for that project into a package rate, okay? So you can do less, but deliver the same amount. If the answer is no, then that tells us, okay, there's a systems gap here. Maybe you're doing repetitive stuff. Maybe you're working on the wrong things that are actually not adding that much value. So it's really important that we ask ourselves that question. If you're hourly, I want you to do that. So step 2, if you're charging a package rate, What I want you to do is I actually want you to go into your last 2 or 3 projects and I want you to audit how much time you actually spent on that project. Because a lot of the time when you look at the data, when you look at maybe you're using a time tracking software, when you actually look at the hours you've spent on it, when you work out your hourly rate, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm charging $15 an hour. What is wrong with me? I should be charging way more. So when we audit our projects and when we audit, okay, well, what is the cost of delivering this project? It's going to tell us that most of the time, your pricing is not high enough. You're not factoring in all of the costs involved. You're not factoring in how much time it actually takes you. And there's this thing called profit. We need to have that too. So I want you to review your projects. I want you to be really honest with yourself and audit your pricing, audit your time. And I want you to remember, speed comes from mastery, and mastery is what your client is paying for. This last mistake is the one that separates creatives earning $5K a month from those that are earning 20, 30, even 50K a month. Mistake number 5, you're only offering one pricing option. When you only have one price, it becomes a yes or no, take it or leave it option. And so what I want you to think about is having tiers for your prices. You're not really changing much about the offer. You're just changing how much you're actually delivering. When you give someone options in your pricing, they stop asking the question of, should I work with you? And they're now asking the question, which option is best for me? And I love this in a sales call because when you present the prices, so you might say, hey, cool, we have this tier and then we have this tier and we have this tier. Which one feels best for you? And immediately they're going to say, oh, I think this one. And those little micro commitments help us to convert more clients. So let me give you an example. There's a company here in Australia called Boost Juice, and they do smoothies, juices, that kind of thing. They have 3 sizes. The first size is junior. Now that price is around $9. The second size is medium, which is $10.50. And then the third size is original, which is $11. Now, what's really interesting about the engineering of these tiers is that the $9 one is tiny. You're kind of like, $9 for that tiny thing, it doesn't feel worthwhile. I'll do the medium, which is $10.50. But then when you look at the $10.50, you're like, well, I could pay 50 cents more and get the original, which is much bigger. There's so much more value for money by doing the original. So what they're actually doing, it's super clever, is they're engineering their prices to sell more of the original size. So the highest ticket item that they have. And so you can do the same thing in your pricing. You can make your lower ticket offer feel kind of like it's missing something, or it's just not as good or not as valuable compared to the others. Now, you can also make your higher ticket offer feel like the best option, the most value, all of that good stuff. The way that we do that is we make the middle price closer to the high ticket price, okay? $10.50, $11, it's really close in price. The value of the $11 option feels way more and the cost is only slightly higher. So if we want to sell more of the medium though, what we want to do is we want to pull the price of the middle tier down so it's closer to the smaller tier. So in the Boost Juice example, if it's a $9 juice in this tiny little one, if we made the medium $10 or even $9.50, which one do you think people are going to buy? They're going to go, okay, cool, I'll just pay the 50 cents more or the $1 more and get the medium. So you can actually kind of engineer your pricing to sell more of the tier that you want. This is where it starts to get really, really clever. So action item from here, what I want you to do is I want you to look at your current core offer. So the main thing that you sell, that is going to be your middle offer, the middle tier offer. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take out some things and you're going to create your smaller tier offer. We don't really want to sell the smaller tier offer. So we're going to make it not seem as sexy and exciting as the middle and the high tier. Okay? So we're going to package up the smaller tier, lower deliverables, slightly less value, but still solving part of the problem for them. Then you're going to create your higher tier offer. Now, this is where you can decide what you want. If you want to sell more of the higher tier offer, you're going to stack it full of value. You're going to make the price really close to your middle tier offer. If you don't really want to sell much of your higher tier offer, what you're going to do is you're going to make it quite expensive and you're going to make it a little less achievable for someone so that you just keep selling the middle tier offer. Okay? So have fun and engineer the pricing. The other thing just around pricing your offer here. One of my mentors, Taki Moore, says you want to be reassuringly expensive. So I want you to think about your price and I want you to think about how you are perceived. If you are too cheap, people aren't going to trust that you're going to deliver the outcome. They're actually going to value what you do less. So build out those 3 tiers, name them, price them, drop them into your next proposal and see what happens. So those are the 5 big pricing mistakes that are costing you dream clients right now. I also have a bonus point for you. You might be thinking, okay, Laura, this all sounds great. I'm going to charge more. I'm going to charge my value. I'm going to do the tiers. I'm going to present price really well, all of that good stuff. But what happens if the leads that I'm getting, they just suck? They're not right. They're not qualified. They can't afford me. What then? Well, my friend, I have something for you. I've created this video training called Funnel Fix. It is the 3-step funnel every creative needs to attract, nurture, and convert their dream clients without chasing or discounting. So if you're watching or listening to this and thinking, oh my gosh, I just need better leads so that I can charge whatever I want, then this is the next step for you. It's a $29 mini course. It's going to help you right away. I've got an entire GPT where I show you how to actually install the pages, how to write the copy. I'm going to show you how to create a lead magnet. I'm going to give you a lead magnet idea. It's going to help you to attract higher quality leads right away. It's one of my most popular trainings. So hit the link in the show notes to get access to that. It's going to help you to be able to charge premium, amazing pricing if we can just get the right leads into your business. I know how confronting pricing can be. And so I just want to encourage you, please do the work to solve these challenges and these mistakes in your pricing. Because my friend, when you can charge more, you can not only earn more, but you can do better work and you can help more people. So I hope that that encourages you today. I'd love it if you drop me a comment or a DM to let me know which mistake resonated most with you and what actions you are going to take. If you want some accountability, that is where you get it, my friend. I'll see you soon.